I was not playing Plants vs. Zombies. You were.
Hello, everyone. Welcome on in, and happy Monday. Some of us are melting, others of us are freezing, apparently, because we're in different time zones. I hope everyone has had a
different hemispheres.
No, that's not a hope on my end. That's a fact. But I hope everyone has had a day today.
It was definitely.
I have had a day. I have not had a day yet, actually, because it's only 3:40 in the morning.
I was going to say, you all 3 hours of it, Terris.
Yes, melting
Absolutely
Tony.
chock-a-block at that point.
Apparently, the UK has stolen all of the heat in the Northern Hemisphere and is currently melting.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not going to complain. We had like 20 degrees here. We went for a nice walk. It was great. But we are here again with our Pulp Noir campaign, Rails of Mourning. And it's also the last day where you can donate to the Terror Project as part of the fundraiser that we do in June. And we have...
Totally should do.
Yes,
if
absolutely.
Can, prizes.
Yes. So, you have until midnight tonight, Central European Time, to get those donations in. Each $5 will give you a ticket into the raffle that will be drawn during this week over on our Discord. Because I'm not streaming that. Because I am going to on a little bit of a break from streaming. There will be stream on Wednesday and Friday for the Honor Mode Baldur's Gate 3. If you missed it, me and Terris wrapped up Minstrel Mischief on Friday.
Yes.
1.5 years, 166 hours played.
Wow.
Of Bard shenanigans. I have all of it recorded. There will be video clips on our YouTube channel. Once
so
I'm done.
Lost without Straw.
Yeah, but we have plans.
We do have plans.
Yeah, I do have plans. But
plans ahead.
Yes, so during this week there will be a raffle over on the Discord. If you can afford it, please consider donating. You have a few more hours. Basically an hour after we wrap today is when the fundraiser closes. We have unlocked all of the secret projects that I planned as well, and I'm currently working on the how to play an evil character in TTRPGs without being a dick about it.
If we get to $300, I'll take foot pics of my cat.
Is there a market for that?
It's toe beans, of course.
Of course, there's a market for it.
What can I say?
Well, we have $25 to go for that one, so get those donations in. That said, the music you're listening to right now is by Aaron Kenny. The song is called Black Cat. You can find it over on the YouTube library of royalty-free music. The music and sounds during the game will be by Sirenscape. The overlay starting soon screen, and the character information was made by me in Incarnate. The beautiful character projects, pictures, drawings, images, whatever you want, including the DM image right there, were made by Nathan. The tiny thing over Nathan's head, the chest whistle, were created by Pointy Hat. And Brain. Yes, thank you, Lillith. Last but not least, if you want to see what you can do to help or hinder the party, you can type in !perks in the chat. Now, let's quickly go around the table, introduce everyone. Thank you so much, Lillith. I am so happy I don't have to worry about doing all the commands, because I have someone who's faster at it than I am.
I've given up trying because she's so fast.
Right?
I mean, I could just as well have them triggered on the online set a trigger for 5 minutes in and have them automatically do things, but it's
Nah.
much more enjoyable to watch you struggle.
I love you too.
You heard
My
it here first,
husband,
folks.
everyone.
That is not all.
Anywho, speaking of, yes, let's have introductions from everyone, and let's start with himself. Andy, who are you and who are you playing?
Himself, I have no idea who you're talking about. I feel these are allegations. I think I'm Andy, and today I will possibly portray Craren, the slightly deranged illusionist wizard. I've been trying to figure out what to say here in the segment, also known as Andy Now Spears Weird Facts. Octopuses have 3 hearts, and 2 hearts to pump blood to the gills, and the third one pumps it to the rest of the body. And the extra hearts helps them to survive in the deep sea where oxygen levels are low. Similarly, on the next tangent of weird facts that you didn't think you would be finding out today, the world's largest snowflakes recorded was 15 inches wide and 16 inches thick and 8 inches thick, and it fell at Fort Keogh in Montana, USA, in January of 1887.
Thought you were
There
going to
you
say.
go.
I thought you were going to say it's Orange who lives in the White House.
I mean, that's a different definition. This is the scientific of things known as snow.
Oh, my bad. Lilith, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Lillith, or Lily, or Lils, and I'm playing Flo Bleakwood, the first bark of the party.
Sorry.
And since Andy was so nice to actually start with a fact I can actually tell, because I actually do remember this from when I was working in health, is that the blue whale's heart is so large that a human can actually crawl through its aorta.
Yes.
Ew.
It's actually like a small cave, and it's quite creepy to think about.
If memory serves, it's the size of a small car and weighs over like half a ton or something of the sort.
I don't remember that. I just remember what was said in school, and I was like, that's just freaky. Who the fuck would crawl into a heart?
Yeah, but it's one of those. It's actually the size of a small car, so it's one of those. Yeah, you could not only get inside it, you can sit comfortably. Why you would? That's a different story.
Considering the power of a human heart, your bones would go scrunch if it ever pumped with you in it.
That seems like a real issue.
Yes.
I had a really mean segues that I'm not gonna say. Terris.
I'm Sir Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. Today I will be playing the albino drow bard, Eberron Weaver. And did you know that emperor penguins can slow their heart rate down to 15 beats per minute to conserve oxygen during dives?
That's pretty
I
cool.
did not know that.
Penguins.
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 I just love how they give rocks to their mate. It's so sweet.
Yes.
What was it you called them, Terris?
What?
Penguins.
I have forgotten.
Digestive tracts with beaks.
Yes, correct. I do not like penguins,
Okay.
but that's a thing.
That's a different story, I guess.
I love penguins at a distance. Like I love most birds.
They absolutely stink.
But they are very cute.
But they stink.
Yes.
They do stink. and they also have rampant sex in front of children whilst you're walking around Southend Wildlife Park. There's me having to explain why it was screaming and on top of the other one to my 4-year-old nephew the other week. It was like, your parents should be having this conversation with you, but whilst we're here, they're making babies.
They are having a argument, and
Yes. I then got told off for having said conversation with my 4-year-old nephew afterwards. Like, I'm not going to lie to him.
Would it
To
be
be fair,
better?
having grown up with animals, I've always known about that, and so have my children,
I mean,
thankfully.
speaking of awkward conversations, Psycole.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Psycole. I am playing the Aremus, the Barbarian Kalashtar, and I have a breadstick.
Is that your fact?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great fact.
At least he didn't
like
say
that
he
fact.
was gonna show his sword.
so I mean, if you want to go down that route, I can have a bonus fact for you. The longest word in the English language is 189,819 letters long. It's a chemical name for the protein known as titin. Saying this word would take about 3.5 hours.
Okay.
Why?
Because someone wanted to beat anti-disestablishmentarianism.
I mean,
The same
I'm
reason they.
not necessarily going to disagree with you on that one, to be frank.
I feel like it's the same reason they decided to call it dyslexia,
Yes.
and being
Make
like,
it difficult
this
for
is
the
a
people that have
word,
it to
and
spell it.
this is a word that you can't write down. Good luck with that, people with that. It's so hard. Why do they hate us?
I'm sorry, Lillith.
It's fine.
Speaking of,
Just remember, I tried to write that down. I couldn't.
That's the first test. Can you
Yes.
write this diagnosis down? No. Oh, well, then you definitely got it.
I mean, I think Ezra put it rather succinctly. Why bother having a difficult word for the inability to formulate words and sentence structures and things of the sort? Just call it something simple. Just call it bonk. Yes, I have bonk. Everyone understands that.
Bonk.
There you go. I will continue Monsieur Izard's venture into renaming dyslexia into bonk.
I really can't wait to hear this segue.
I was gonna say something about whipping swords out and Romulus, but you know.
Oh. Thought that was Oren's job.
I mean, Oren is apt with swordplay. I mean, what?
Nathan.
He's well-versed in swordplay.
Hi.
I'm Nathan. I play Romulus Seldorn, the Kalashtar Hexblade Warlock, and the second bark of the party. Did you know that you can tell the temperature depending on cricket chirps? If you can estimate the temperature by counting a cricket's chirps, and the formula to count to this is count the number of chirps in 14 seconds, then add 40, and you'll get the rough temperature in Fahrenheit. Did you also know that the whales have been found to have spears in them from the 1800s, meaning that their lifespans are very long? They're also blue whales are also the largest animal to ever exist on the planet, and that there is a whale out there which is known as the loneliest whale, because they think scientists believe that it may be a possible hybrid, or maybe like a deformed whale of some description, where its voice is transmitted at a higher frequency than regular whales can hear, meaning that it can't be heard by other whales in a mating call. But as the years have gone on, its call has gotten lower, I believe.
Aw.
Google that because I want to know more about
So
it.
yes, it's forever looking for a mate that will never hear its call.
While you're at it, you should Google Migaloo.
That is snail.
No, Migaloo is our Australian albino humpback whale.
Ah.
Yes. There's also like an albino killer whale or orca somewhere, I believe, that's been seen recently. So cool.
I actually was many years ago now on a whale watching cruise and saw her, Migaloo.
Oh,
I've
so
got
cool.
footage on an old analog tape somewhere of her.
Oh, you got to digitize that and save it because that would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Also, it's the whale is referred to as the 52 hertz whale.
I like that.
It's been detected every year since 2014.
Well, may it
That's-
survive many more years.
Yes.
And eventually find a mate.
Oh, hopefully.
Yes.
And hi, I am Ardana or Joe or you there since Lillith is here. I am the DM and channel runner around these parts, and I, as usual, have no fact. Because I didn't
I
think
have
of
a
one.
fact for you.
You're beautiful.
Ah, thank you.
Aww.
Well, it looks like Psycole has a second breadstick, so I'm gonna go with that one.
All right, I've got a whole fucking box of them. Would you like some?
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
starving.
He's packed with bread, people.
I like the shortest war in history. It lasted for only 38 minutes. It's an Anglo-Zanzibar war between the British Empire and the Sultanate of Zanzibar. And it lasted for 38 minutes. And the British emerged victorious in record time.
Gee, I wonder how that happened. Superior firepower?
Something, two-pump jump.
Oh goodness.
We
This
didn't
All
stuff
right.
sounds like the talk me and Andy had about Sweden and freaking Denmark taking over Norway all the time. And then
Yes.
suddenly being like, yeah, sure, you can be your own country, looking away for 5 seconds, and we suddenly have a flag and be like, we're free.
What do we do now?
What do we
Proceed to
do
be
now? We need national songs.
writing a national song, becoming financially independent from every other nation. Norway
And then we
things.
can join wars too.
All right.
Did you know the longest
Since
war?
gaining its independence, has Norway actually been the aggressor or otherwise part, other than acts of sympathy in war?
I mean, we sent our king was very smart at some point when Hitler was a douche. We sent our Jews over to Sweden, being like, they've been in Sweden. We're sending them to Sweden to make them safe, and it worked.
I mean, yes. So in that sense, I mean, you've been invaded, but I wonder, that's been occupied by Nazi Germans.
Does it count that we were Vikings?
That was very much before Norway was formed as a unified country.
Yes, but it still counts, right?
When was Norway independent?
1905.
Yeah. It took a while until we could be like, Sweden, can we please be independent? And they were like, yeah, sure. Looked away, and suddenly we had a flag and a national song, and we were like, this is our border now.
I mean, it was more of a we want to have we want to be independent and Stockholm essentially. And actually, we want to have our own. Not necessarily independence. We want to have a referendum on adding Oslo as a second point of making decisions for what's the Norwegian side of the Norway-Sweden alliance type thing. And Sweden basically said, nah, let's not do that. And so, but no, we really want it. And we're like, yeah, fine, you can have that. Oh yeah, it's a turnout of 98.7 or something percent in favor of leaving the union and gaining independence. But yeah, we didn't think about that. Well, I
Whoops.
guess you're independent now.
All right.
Did you know the longest
That's dash cunning of you, using Voting systems?
As much as I love talking history, because history nerd, we kind of have to get going with the D&Ds.
I feel I don't understand your language. I'm not from your country.
So, anyone want to give us a recap of what happened last time? Because it's been a while.
We did things. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 seconds, caller.
They went to Sora Maenya.
We did. So, last time, we all woke up and decided that we would check in with the Feya. Oh, no, I pronounced that wrong. Anyway, the police, after the affairs of the night before. And Flo and Craren decided that they would stay behind and or Salash scope out the Drul Kantar's house to make sure, in preparation for potential B&E. So Remus, Romulus, and Oren decided to go and visit the police. And whilst we were there, we met Sora Maenya, who provided a series of gifts to the party. First of which was to do with capturing the bandits we had fought previously. So we got some money for that, including some money for the bandit chief, 2 lieutenants, and the deceased other lieutenant, and not the one that got away. We also were given a favour for defeating the Shrouding Knight, redeemable from Sora Maenya, not the rest of the daughters of Psycole. Which we will have to determine what we're going to use that for at some point at a later date, but we shall find out. We were also offered a number of prizes for rescuing Durin, including Remus being told he would not be prosecuted for the fact he is a wanted criminal, and therefore, whilst remaining inside Droa, he will be immune from that particular crime. Any other future crimes he may still be arrested for. Romulus was offered an opportunity to train under Jericho, if he so wishes, given that he is becoming a bark. And Oren was offered a leather band with a crystal in it that shields him from magical sight, given some of his weird propensities for scrying, or being scryed upon. And then we were also provided 2 letters, one for Flo and one for Craren, which we have not looked at, which if we had been rogues we probably would have done. We then let Sora Maenya know that the leader of Psycole, Drul Kantar, is conspiring against the daughters, something which he probably was suspicious of beforehand, but cannot openly move against him unless she has evidence to prove it. We said that we think that we might have said evidence in the papers that we had got, and that we would see whether or not we could go back and find that information and provide evidence to her anyway. But either or, she has suggested that she would be happy to turn a blind eye to us committing murder in Psycole, of the Drul Kantar's variety, depending on whether or not we have evidence or not, and at least give us a bit of a head start if we decided to run. Meanwhile, Craren and Flo scoped out the residence, found out about a number of wonderful windows and doors that Craren may choose to teleport people into at some point in time, and Craren also goes about trying to educate Flo on how to kind of scope out a building in the way that Craren does. They return to the stables via the market, a few bits and pieces, and to see what's going on in terms of getting ready, everyone else getting ready for the gauntlet. And we arrive back at the stables and we give Flo and Craren their notes, and then we discuss options for whether or not we're going to break in, provide the evidence as required, and I think we then settled in to do a brief study session regarding the papers that we have from the Silver Flame, and whether or not there is evidence that Drul Kantar is involved and betraying the daughters in some way, shape or form.
Yay! Yes. You can have a
Yay.
point of inspiration for that one. If you already have it, you can bounce it to someone else. And
I already have it. That's very unusual.
yes, it
Who wants
is.
it?
I claim.
Finders keepers.
Whoosh.
All right. Well, full disclosure, because I didn't want to write up all the information and use a third of it, or none, I asked my players to roll investigation checks in between sessions so I knew what information they would require. And then, of course, someone had to roll a natural 20 for a 27, where the DC to get all the information was 25.
Not me, Clarence.
So,
I feel you judging.
a little bit, but you know, I put that on myself. But if we are all as comfortable as we are going to get, as I realized that the music I decided to go with on Sirenscape is very upbeat, let's get started. Gotta pause that one. Bring this one. Nope, where did you go?
Luke.
Where are you? There you are. The scent of hay and parchment, ink and fur is heavy in the stables where you are all set up. Books and papers are stacked high next to you, Craren, and it takes you mere moments to find a method to the madness of the collected notes around you. It seems that whoever wrote or collected these notes had a firm grasp on organization. It reminds you of years spent in temple libraries and lantern-lit studies in Carnis. How many years have passed since then? How many years of moving along among different communities, building connections and disrupting lines of communication? Your eyes fall across pristine line after pristine line, stopping from time to time as your gaze falls on notes on what you're looking for. One note makes you pause, sniffing silver flame sniffing around the king of Carnath. Another note talking about the servant hunting mages. You are making powerful connections. Will they throw you into the same spotlight? Will you be able to stay anonymous? Remus stacking another note on the pile of proof found shakes you out of your thoughts, and you find yourself no longer in that library of your mind, but in the stables, behind the Hunter's Crest Inn. And the loud cheering and happiness of the people outside. What would you like to do?
I have no idea. My brain comprehended half of what you just said, but I have more clues because we had reasons to discuss this beforehand, and
Yes.
because my brain is more of a, ooh, these are words you're saying, they make no sense to me. It's more of a contextualizing things is important in my brain, and these are just pretty words you're saying. They make no sense in my brain right now, but I need to process it over time. So
That's
asking me
fair.
to what needs to happen now makes no sense to me because I haven't made sense of whatever you just said. But I have an idea based on we had to discuss things over the weekend. So I'm going to assume that Craren will first of all piece together more of a as a timeline and string of events. This is information that is happening, mostly in notes before him. And it's okay, so this one has to be going there. I'm going to assume that he's just muttering nonsense to himself because that's how my brain works. I make notes by writing down things that doesn't even make sense to me. And so this one might be going over here, and this one might be okay, but this one seems related, and just just casually piecing together bits and bobs of information in what makes no sense on notes on the floor, and then it's about yes, I think I got it, and not necessarily loudly and proudly proclaim things about yes, this makes sense, and then keeps reorganizing stacks and stacks of papers and notes and just casually rewriting things in his own on his own papers. This seems to make sense, and then just reshuffling and shuffling again, and so okay, but now it's sort of okay, I got most of this down. These 4, I have no idea where they belong, but they seem interesting. Yes, this is a thing, and here's information, guys, and start breaking it down, because it's sort of how I would break down things in my head, and I'm considering Crown lives in my head sometimes. I feel that it would make sense for him to break down information similarly, because he's a wizard and he has an intelligence to defend logically progressing and piecing together information into his own head. He might not be the most charismatic character, but he has information. Now he's trying to convey this information into a usable form that makes sense to the rest of the party. Because while it might not be information that everyone is really interested in, from a historiological perspective, it gives context to where the Silver Flame is coming from, what they have been up to, and that implicates more things happening that previously has been expected. We've seen them trying to kill people, but not necessarily what they've done before, and so on and such forth. So yes, Crown is just trying to hang on a minute with all of this and weed out what is interesting, what makes sense, and then try to have so guys, this is a thing, and relay what is mostly making sense. If that makes sense, that's sort of what Crown would be doing, and rediscovering that not everyone is having the same particular interest as he does, because he's really excited about the historical implications of all of these things, because information and being able to blackmail people with things is fun. Yes. So that's what Crown would do.
All right. Remus.
So does this mean I get to kill someone, Craren, and not get told off for doing it?
That's exactly what it means, Remus.
Yay! I'm happy.
There it is.
And Crown would be mentioning something completely nonsensical to you, making an analogy to using this as a get out of jail free card.
I mean, I normally just lift the door out of its hinges.
That works too.
I like how you think. Not quite what I was going for, but I like how you think. So yes, we have dirt. We have now question becomes, we have dirt. We have compromising information. Do we relay this before we unalive people, or do we do it after the fact?
Well, you could be really sneaky about it, right? And we could walk in and turn around and say, we have information that says that you're compromised. Can we have a private audience with you? And then we can murder him.
We can definitely have an audience and see if we can price some information before we murderize things. And if he decides not to give anything useful, we'll murderize him, and if he decides to give something useful, we'll still murderize him. We won't be using those words, but more of a let's
Point
use
is,
this
there will
as
be murder.
it's more of a the outcome is the same, much like any other Greek tragedy. Everyone dies. Referencing
Yeah.
countries that no one knows exist. Yes, that's a great thing. But let's use it as leverage. What information would this person possibly sit on that we could use later on?
So, as you were talking, Remus, because you rolled the second highest of everyone.
-1 intelligence.
As Crown is and you are talking back and forth, you flip through pages, and a piece of burnt parchment falls out.
Mhm.
And everything else in that particular book was paper. This one was like a really crinkly version of parchment. And I've already showed you this, but this is what you see.
Yeah, that thing.
Yes. And I'm gonna move.
It's a thing.
I'm gonna move it so people on stream can see it. It looks very much like a magic scroll of some kind.
Shiny.
What form is it? Scroll, formerly known as.
Yes.
Remus will start reading the bits that look as though they're in English.
All right.
Out loud.
Out loud, okay. Remus,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Well, I thought I'd just read this. I didn't know. I just thought it was interesting, and I didn't know whether or not, like, if I read it, would kind of like.
No. I'm not saying you can't. I haven't seen you finding interesting in written words before. I like this new side of you.
This piece of parchment thing looks as though it's covered in blood, so I thought it would be a good idea to read it.
Because it was covered in blood, or because you were interested in the text?
Because it was covered in blood.
Why would you think it was covered in blood and burnt?
Well, it's burnt and it's blotchy, and I'm like, I don't know, like I could lick the paper, but then that's like going a little bit too far, apparently.
Look, everyone has their own kinks, and I'm not here to judge, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Romulus.
Hello.
I'll do it.
But first of all, with that, whatever you're reading, I can understand. I can read languages, so that might come in handy. And secondly, did Flo get her letter? Like, did we actually give her?
No, you never gave it to me. You were all like, "We got this reward, but we're also going to kill someone," and they were like, "What?"
Didn't
Then
we?
Aaron will
I
hand
thought-
it over now. If,
I think we might have
someone has-
mentioned
hmm
that
Oh.
we had the letter, but not necessarily handed it. So I just thought I'd bring those points up if they help the conversation.
Yes.
Would reading the common language bits of the scroll actually do anything? I'm curious.
You can give me a Arcana check.
Oh no! I'm not asking for any Arcana check. I'm asking if what he read actually had any consequence.
Actually, as you started reading, Remus, could you give me a wisdom check? Not a
Yep.
save.
7.
Oh no!
Was that a
Because-
nat one?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Okay.
It goes red if you're on the roll 20 to say it's in that one.
Excellent.
Yes. As you read, something shifts a little bit. You're not entirely sure why, but you're kind of reminded of what's that scent? Like a scent of petrichor and ozone mingled.
Interesting.
But not a whole lot else happens. You feel a little tired, like in your left eye, but you're sitting in hay, so it could be that.
Kraven, it's not working.
I'm just saying that is entirely fair observation, and I'm not arguing against that. It was just a curiosity that I wouldn't have pinned you down as the one interested in reading magical scrolls, particularly things that by the looks of it, without having investigated too much, but this looks like a summoning seal of some sort. I have no idea what it would actually be summoning, but
Would you like me to try and read something? If there's any like non-English or non-common aspects.
That is one of those things that I never really figured out as a game mechanic. Wizards and any other things that use spell books and things of the sort, they write things down in their own
Yes.
magic notation type things and so on and such forth. So that just means that it only makes sense to them, because that's how writing things down in your own notation works. But how the fuck balls would a scroll work? It's like, do you type it out in common in order for things to more broadly understand what's going on? This makes absolutely game mechanics wise no sense. I'm all for learning about what's on the scroll, don't get me wrong, but there's conflict of interest in how the game is the game system is written up.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird. Romulus, because you have the Eyes of the Runekeeper, you can in fact read the writing on each of the 5 points of the circle. It doesn't seem to be actual runes, it seems to just be letters. And they shift slightly in a grayish red, like almost pink tone as you're looking at them, and it's kind of hard to read, as if the words themselves want to shift and change, almost like you're trying to read something after pressed your hands to your eyes for too long. But you speak Quarry, Common, and
Thieves' Cant.
Thieves' Cant. Okay. It's not a language you recognize.
Okay.
But having the Eyes of the Runekeeper, you can read the words. So the top one means artist.
Because
top-
because most summoning things is normally conjuration, and Krarn is mostly into illusion magic. He's not necessarily unable to read it, but he doesn't necessarily comprehend what it actually does.
Yeah.
Reading words is one thing, understanding it is different.
On that note, let me actually check. No, the top left one says protector. Top right one says destroyer.
Oh boy.
Bottom left says chaos.
Sounds friendly.
And bottom right says mother.
Okay, I relay this information.
Now, let me double check something real quick. What?
Well, I'm stumped.
Let me check. Someone has not put his languages in there. What languages do everyone else speak? I know I ask this a lot, but you know.
Oren speaks Common and Elvish.
Okay.
Sylvan and Deep Speech.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, if you
It's
look,
somewhere on the character sheet, I guess.
Yeah.
It should be in proficiencies, like bottom
left.
left corner.
yeah, Karen has not listed any languages there.
No, I have sent you my character sheet on D&D Beyond, and you haven't added it.
I know. Let me check.
And I haven't. I have since removed that character sheet from D&D Beyond. So no.
Well, I have the version you built on my end.
At which point should there still be language there?
All right. Yours says Elvish and Gnomish.
Yes.
All right.
I was unsure if it was Elvish or Abyssal, but you know.
Yeah, no, you put Elvish and Gnomish on there. So,
In this instance, yes.
yeah. None of the rest of you know the words, and kind of odd. Unless you remember that Romulus can read all writing.
So this is what this says.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna
Any
attempt to
thoughts?
pronounce. Yep.
Anyone?
Da-na.
Sorry,
So-
looking for it.
Yes, there is a handout in handout
Oh, I understand.
uncategorized.
No, it is there. Common, Elvish, and Gnomish. It is in the thing, but it has other things mixed into it, so it's not added in order.
That's fair. So yes. Sorry, I lost.
Why does it do that? That's annoying.
Hail, Mother, hear my calls. Aid thy lost child. Bring me rest so I may bring something worthy. Bring art worthy of thy beauty. Eternal Lady, see thy child. Crush the enemy that threatens thine creations. Show thine visage so that all the world may know thine gifts. There we go.
Do
Why
you
do
read them
guys
out?
get things that make sense? I mean, not necessarily make sense. Why do you get poetic things? I get political history, which is interesting, and I enjoy that. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, yes,
That is in common, right?
Yes.
I mean, it is now.
Oh yeah, I think he would have actually read that out to everyone.
To echo Remus then.
Oh boy.
Oren, could you please give me a wisdom check?
Oh shit!
Just one
Oren
more.
is not wise. Why? Wisdom,
Pass it to
wisdom.
Flo. Get Flo to read it and see whether or not if we read it 3 times, the summoning ritual happens.
7. Rolled a 7.
Yes.
Same as with Remus, you see, like, you get that scent of ozone and petrichor around you, and this kind of tiredness in your left eye starts settling in, and you ever had a similar feeling before? But like both of you have, like the tail end of a hangover.
Oh, I don't like this.
Can Craren just make an Arcana check on this?
Absolutely.
He's gonna snatch it out of Oren's hands to stop someone else from reading it.
That's the shittiest thing I've rolled for in a long time.
It's very clearly a it's part of the how to set up this summoning ritual. It's not the whole thing. You have what the seal would look like, and you have some of the text that you would recite, and you can tell that there are pages missing of how to set up the ritual.
So it's more of a incantation and a seal, but less of these are the let's call it summoning components, candles, sacrificial items. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just half a recipe.
It's you're not entirely sure how the ritual itself would work because there are pages missing. But
this feels like reading a food blog and stuff. Yes, so when I was a young child and I did all of these things, but this is basically in spell form. So regarding the history of this country, regarding these things, here's a summoning seal, and then stuff happens. There you go.
Yeah, so using the recipe analogy, this is basically like, and then you mix it in the bowl. You do not have any ingredients list.
Yeah. I have the order it goes in.
Yes.
But not what goes where.
Come on, give me some.
Cryon is actually going to use that as an analogy, as more of a well understanding that there's only one person in this party that would actually bake things. But it's a analogy that everyone should understand. Essentially just saying, so this is less than half of what we need to actually use this. I don't know exactly what it does, but yeah, let's... Even if you were to read it, it wouldn't do anything. More than mess with you.
Can I read it? And considering I can understand the other bits with the fact that I can understand the diagram.
This is a bit Crown just hands you, but you just be my guest. Just it's
morbidly curious.
Yes, it's more of a
Sorry.
half of what's going on is missing, and we won't actually summon something, but. Yeah, if you can figure out what Artist, Protector, Destroyer, Chaos, and Mother means.
Did you roll?
I have not rolled yet, but can I roll?
You can roll if you.
Romulus, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying that we don't know what kind of sacrificial items we need. We don't know what candles we need. So it's like you might be getting halfway through the summoning bits, but when the items are sacrificed later on in the ritual, we have no idea what they are. If it's a red candle or a blue candle, or if you need a diamond or the tongue of a toad, or what you need. But by all means, read it. If you can gain more insight than we already have.
Well,
that would be grand.
You start reading it like the others did, and you get this feeling that it why?
That's what I had in my head. When Karen said, "Be my guest," it was like, yes, I know it's not the lyrics of the song, but it's yes.
It is now.
Be my guest. Be my guest.
Yes. So with that wisdom check and reading it out loud, Romulus, you get the sense. You get that same scent, that slight tiredness over your eyes, and looking around, like not really turning your head from reading, but like in your periphery, you start noticing odd colors changing slightly around you, and you are getting this sensation that your eyes want to look up and follow instead of continuing reading the words. And on top of the scent of petrichor and ozone, you also get a faint scent of like apple blossoms and cherry trees. And then as soon as you stop reading, it fades away. And that
Let me tell you this
weird...
much, Oren. This isn't lyrics for you, you who are more bardically inclined.
It's interesting.
bit.
I'm getting a sense of blossom. I'll read it.
You also,
And,
as you can read the other words around it, you get the strange, like, you hear those words very faintly echoed as a counterpoint when you're reading.
Okay, reading this is a slight trip. I think it's safe though. You're fine.
I mean, it might be some form of a nature spirit. It might be something else. Do you feel? I mean, you are free to go down that route if you want to venture more into the realms of conjuration magic. That's entirely fine by me. If you want to venture deeper into the nature of things.
Not quite my area of expertise, I must say, but curious to say the least. And the fact that it fell out of this book is curiouser still.
Easy
I
for you
mean,
to
I
say.
think whether this has been used or not, it has been inspiration for someone for something.
Indeed.
We know that much.
Did it mention
The
anything
fanfic
like this in the
writes itself.
books?
Yeah, as a reminder, the notes I sent you does talk about a being known as the Pale Mother.
Yes, I remember. Yes, I'm reading it now.
And yep.
Also talks to a ritual that summoned the Shrouded Knight.
Oh,
Oh, let's not do that.
We've already
sure
had one of those.
and
That's
Yeah,
servant
sure.
of the
Second.
Overlord, known as the Pale Knight, or the
Yes.
Mother of Darkness. Curious.
Yes, Remus?
You know, in fact, I'm perfectly fine not having more Shrouded Knights, so if we could avoid that, that would be fine.
Agreed.
Hi, Cat.
So when do we get to murder?
Now?
In just a moment, let's have a chat with this strapping chap first and see what happens.
First of all, as well, before we do any of that, a certain someone needs a letter that
Oh,
she has
yeah.
yet to be given.
Letter that I don't have for a change. I have a lot of other things, but
Oh.
not that.
I think I got that one. He's going to hand that to Flo. Sorry. Got distracted.
Yes.
This is yours.
Me, player, being distracted. Sorry.
You can just see
Sorry.
Flo basically like standing quite still, not comprehending all the information. You can see her ear twitch a little bit, and you can see like the toggle in her head being like, "What?"
Flo, query: does Oren know you can't read?
I can read. I'm just
Oh,
very
thought
slow
you
at it.
couldn't. No, that
I
was
can
somebody
read.
else. Right. No, that was. Don't mind me. Similar, different werewolf character. My bad.
Okay.
All right.
Marginal difference.
So, Flo, your letter. I'm not sure if you can hear him, but holy crap, my cat's losing his mind.
Oh no.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to reveal what the information is, but
She will read it quietly first.
All right. I think I sent you that information already, but let's send it again so you know what it is and you know if you want to share it with the rest. Same thing with Clarence note.
I'm sorry, what?
I mentioned that to you a while back.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Does she know who this person is?
You don't know who that person is, but you know of the organization. It's the Thieves Guild of Droam.
Oh.
Yes.
No.
I mean, what?
You can see she's very confused. But she like packs the letter and put it in her little sack.
All right.
Shiny.
So, still mid-morning, well, late morning at this point, heading towards noon. Do you want to wait until all of the hunters leave, or are you going
Preferably, yes.
All right.
Less witnesses. I mean,
Very true.
people don't need to have opinions about our audience with this fine, strapping gentleman.
Indeed. All right. So, unless anyone else wants to do something before we get to that point, at around midday, you hear the crowd outside go relatively quiet. And then a voice rings out over the marketplace, deep and resonant in ways my voice does not do naturally. It seems to boom out across the hilltop you're currently residing on, and it says, there is a worthy prey waiting not far from our glorious city. If any one of you bring back any part of them that proves that you have slayed some manticores, there is a large coin bounty and free food for a while here in town. And the manticores are roughly northeast of here. Go there, bring back proof you killed them, or, bring back proof they're dead. You know the rules, at least for a few of you have been here. No murdering each other in the city. Other than that, first person who brings back proof the manticore's dead gets 2,000 gold pieces and get to eat free for a month. Now, shoo. And you hear the crowd break out in cheers and then start filtering out towards the south, out the gates of Thrakelorn. And about half an hour later, the town is quieter than you have experienced since you arrived. And it's almost like the entire marketplace is breathing a sigh of relief.
Well then.
Seems like our time has come.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
We are interviewing Drul Kantar to see if he's willing to divulge further information into his ventures in his rather complicit nature of not being aligned with the political climate in this area. We're talking to him.
Oh, okay.
And we have dirt on him. He has done bad things. And if he has the information we like, we get that information. And that's fine. And then we murderize him. And if it doesn't have information we like,
We
we
murderize him
murderize him.
anyway.
We're gonna give him a
However-
bath in his. We're gonna give him a bath in his own blood to wash his dirt off.
Exactly. So the minor technicality here being is that we have dirt on him, and we just want to we want to investigate if he has further information that would be helpful to our cause. You know, bringing railroads, peace to the nations, minor things as such. And he only
Oh, yeah,
needs
that's
to
what we're
know.
doing here.
But he only needs to know that we are interested in talking to him. And now that everyone is gone, he might be more inclined speaking with us. And if he's not, we might want to say so regarding this topic. And if he doesn't want to listen at that point, well, then we didn't get an audience with him, and we might want to murderize him at that point. If he
But-
wants to talk and be more open-minded about reasons why he's done what he's done, we might use that as leverage further on down the line when we talk to other people. So
But-
it's a win-win situation. Either we get information that we can use and we murderize him, or we don't get information and we murderize him anyway. Either way, we get a reward.
I'm down for that.
Are we?
Yes, Flo?
Aren't we supposed to not kill people in the city?
Yes, quite astute observation of you. However, the powers that be have decided to conveniently look away if we have produced evidence of
Wrongdoing.
of wrongdoing. Yes, and we have in this pile of paper here, and just holding out all the wads and notes of it. All of these things implicates him, and let's powers that be know that Monsieur Drul is not quite as honest as he likes to tell people, and for that reason, it might be, how shall I phrase it, liberated from his responsibilities.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
how about we venture to see if we are granted an audience with Drul Kantar and see if he wishes to casually talk about things.
Do you think we should provide this information to Sora Mianya before we go and kill him? Or at least before we have a conversation with him, so that we've got absolute clarity that we are okay.
I think it might be a good idea.
That might prove
to-
pertinent, yes. You know,
Yeah.
to be granted murderizing permits before. Yeah, let's do that. It's much easier to have the permission than have to explain to the police after the fact. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Open up. We have a warrant for your death.
Maybe not show that to Drul Kantar, not in that sense, but when inevitably the law enforcement comes around, is like, yes, we have this piece of paper saying that we're good to murderize face meat. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. You're heading off to Soramania's, or the Fela then.
Yes.
All right. It takes you roughly 20 minutes to get up to the Fela, and another 10 to get an audience. Well, audience. For her to make time for you, because apparently very busy. And unless you have any other questions, she will basically just read over whatever you found and then give you what is basically a writ of execution.
Pran hasn't spoken to this person before, and is more keen on delivering this information, since he has a wad of paper that is basically implicating all of these things. But here's the things: in these notes, he's implicated for these reasons, and in these notes, he's implicated for those reasons. Now, we could dive deeper into things, but I'm going to assume that this is ample information.
Yeah, this is more than enough. Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
I'm grateful. Not having to creep around in shadows to get rid of a thorn in my side.
Now, making things happen, making people disappear, it's within our general skill set. I'm here for information. They are here doing their things. We all agree on things that makes our life easier and happier. I'm very pleased that we can see eye to eye in this endeavor.
So my big word using friend.
Comes with the territory, wouldn't you say?
Not really my territory, but you can talk to my sister about that. I try to be concise, to the point, and usually talk with the pointy end of a sword.
And that's entirely fair. That is also how you can, let's call it, drive engagement.
Indeed.
Yes.
Now, here's for you, and she'll hand over a very succinct note that basically says, by the order or by the authority of Soramaenia, the traitor Drul Kantar has been scheduled for removal to be carried out.
Departure.
Carried out by the carrier of this note.
Oh, goodness.
And then there is a wax seal.
Lady,
Yes.
how do you feel about collateral damage as far as his minions are concerned?
If they fight you,
Just in case it comes up.
if they stand in between you and the law, remove them. If they surrender,
Understood.
let them go.
Understood.
And given that Oren has just reminded me of this, how do you feel about property damage?
Not my property.
Perfect.
Don't set fire to the town. If you burn the house down, make sure it's just that house.
Spoil sport.
Ahem.
Joking.
Thought so.
I thought you enjoyed your insides on the inside, Oren.
Generally.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
I like how your
I've been
elf friend
skewered and
thinks.
bludgeoned enough. Yeah. I've been skewered and bludgeoned enough for one lifetime, I think.
Now,
Or is
for
it
the sake...
technically 3 now?
Yes. Now, for the sake of making things simpler, breaking and entering is a loud and noisy business. Let's see if we can just get ourselves an audience with this miscreant. Much easier if he willingly opens the door for you.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you say?
I would say.
Excellent. Shall we?
Let's go.
All right. You make your way down to back towards the market
So
square.
main entrance wasn't this side, right?
No, on the other side. Let me
Between the houses.
actually put you on the map. Because I made one.
Ooh.
Ooh. You're spoiling us.
I know.
Spoiled. So spoiled.
Bloodwood gives Soramania a small nod before she goes.
You see a small grin on Soramania's face and a nod back. All right. Let me see how centered it is
It's
on the
enough for me.
stream.
But I
go.
don't know what end of your screen capturing on.
As you approach the main entrances, you do notice there are two large doors that lead into this strangely shaped house that I, for some reason, have missed a spot on with the wall. Close door. There we go.
I mean,
Oh.
door is closed on
Yes.
my end, so there's that.
No, it was like a cone of light that you could see in through between the door and the wall.
Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Yes. And outside you see two rather large hobgoblins standing guard. One is by one of the front doors and the other one is by the fence right here. Both of them seem to be just lounging. The one by the fence is leaning against the fence, like eyes almost closed until you approach, and then he snaps to attention. And just
Hello, dear.
Hello there.
Everything is so dark.
oh, you can't see anything?
She's not even on the map. Oh, well, she is on the map. She's
Ah,
on
she
the
is.
I
map.
am on the map, but I
Yeah.
can barely see anything.
Try to open your eyes. You should have started that then.
Hmm.
Darkness consumes you.
You shouldn't need to. Well, most of it is the house, so a lot of it should be covered by wall and line of sight. But
Is this
Yeah.
supposed to be dark?
no,
So, like everything here is dark. Here is really dark.
It's weird because
Here it's really dark.
Okay, let me see if I can fix that because I turned daylight on this map.
It's
Yeah.
daylight for me. Maybe Flo needs to refresh.
Okay,
Now
I
you
can
changed something.
see.
so
I
okay,
don't know what
so
you changed right now, but it changed the hue of.
yes, so what I did was daylight mode was on, so I toggled it off and then I toggled it on again and then saved settings.
So just listen to yourself saying that.
I know. I made it night and then day again and then I saved.
So yes,
Mm.
have you tried turning it off and on again?
I did.
Yes.
Nighttime, daytime.
Nighttime.
Yay.
daytime.
All
Wanna
right.
play nighttime, daytime.
Oh yeah, I needed to fix one more
Daytime,
thing
nighttime,
because
Stab, stab, stab. Stab, stab, stab.
we
Nothing.
talked about that. Uh,
Sure. I mean,
all right.
what?
That's fine, I guess. But yes, and the guard that you're approaching,
So-
Oren, pushes off from the
Yes,
fence.
Morten will be doing the chatty bits. I mean, I could also do chatty bits, but I'm also feeding the cat. So.
Oh no,
Morten,
he's already been fed.
he's already been fed.
Yep,
You fed him
Oh.
earlier.
He almost had you fooled.
it's false
No,
news.
I had
Uh,
it was more of I had no idea that it was already done. So I was like, yes, it's 9, and I
False
figured I
news.
might as well.
I love it.
No, I fed him like
It
15
was
minutes
even
ago.
more confusing when I was feeding him.
Oren, as you approach, the guy kicks
I'm
like
knits right now.
yes, Nana knits. Can I help you all? The hunt has already left.
Yes, we felt that it was prudent to wait until there were less people around to deliver some rather sensitive information to your benefactor, your liege, your boss.
Right. What's this information?
Of a sensitive nature, dear.
Fine. Well, if you go through the doors here, I'll go tell him that you're here.
Thank you, darling.
And he walks in through the doors, leaving this door open for you to walk inside. And vanishes in behind what looks like a row of bookshelves. You hear knocking on a wooden door. Oran running all the way inside behind the bookshelf.
Because
Remus,
wait. Yes.
Remus is desperate to keep up with Oren, purely because we know what Oren is like, and if we get into a fight, Oren is normally in the way.
I mean, in the way might be a strong word.
He's in the way of whatever is attacking us.
I think I might be stuck in a wall.
I think
Where
Oren
did
is
you
as well, to be
position
fair.
yourself in the wall? Really?
The Nana knits as you catch up. The hobgoblin who's just been knocking and turns to you
Goblin
and
the goblin?
well, you can wait over by the couches. That's more comfortable than crowding around here. That door ain't gonna open for you.
Of course, darling. I will wait. And yeah, will sit himself in a couch and begin knitting.
All right.
I mean, casually, like you do when you enter some stranger's abode, you start knitting.
He's
What would have
knitting
put on her hoodie?
He is knitting a doily at the moment that he's going to, when finished, takes about 5 or so minutes, place down somewhere in the room.
All right.
Just decoration. Just a little lacy thing.
Flo, from where you're standing, you see the door open quickly, and a heavily armored figure. I'm gonna move that one to the token layer. Step out in the middle of the door, and the hobgoblin that was by the door that escorted you in leans forward. And if you want to hear what they're saying, you can give me a perception check.
She can read lips.
Well, one of them has his back to you, so.
Is it hearing based so that?
Yes, you can read the lips of the armored being that steps through the door, but you can't of the hobgoblin that led you inside.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for that. That's better.
Yeah, that's better. You hear basically the hobgoblin say some weird-looking people wanted to talk to the boss about some information they got. Sounds strange. Don't like them. And the armored one answers with, well, get back to your post and I'll talk to them, I guess. And he's gonna close the door behind him, and you hear a click of a lock. for this. He's going to walk past you, look at you like, the hell?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh dear.
Oh, the captain's gonna talk to you now.
Well,
Very well.
He gives a court nod to all of you and returns to his post just outside. The captain walks over to Flo
I
and...
don't like the part where invisibility has a vocal component.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
it's just shh.
You,
Would you like?
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry. Apologies.
don't worry about the captain looks at Flo and... You the person want to talk to me?
And she points over to the others.
I just don't want.
And she will talk very quietly.
You know how information can be deadly. I'm just making sure that no one else comes out of the door. Since information, again, can be pricey or deadly, as we both know.
Now, quickly, out of character, what information were we going to share with this guy exactly so Oren does not overstep? Because I'm sure we've discussed that.
My suggestion would be that we say that we have recently come across some papers within the Silver Flame that investigated an event.
That implicate him, I imagine.
Well, that implicate him or that investigated an event in wherever they found. Hold on, where was it? Near. Investigated a raid on the cult of the Dragon Below near the Watching Wood.
Right. So, yeah, none of it will just be. We have come to into the possession of some rather sensitive information that may or may not implicate you. We feel that you may be in some danger, dear. And then we'll relay that information.
Wait, he's only the captain, right? He's not the boss, correct?
No, he's not the boss. He's the captain. Well, I guess you're gonna go talk to the big man. Try
You're
not to
the big
pay.
man, you're very large.
I am, but I'm tiny compared to that one. It's the reason why you got to be the boss of this place. Pays well too. If you're interested.
I'm sure it does, dear. Oh, I'm just an old woman.
I'm sure you are.
Yes.
I mean, you look the part. An old woman who happens to be in the city of hunters during the gauntlet.
I mean, she's
Which
with
is-
us.
That
We
is
traveled
true.
here relatively recently.
I feel you're judging.
I've been around the block. And an old one like that, in a city like this, during a time like this, not being bothered by anyone, I'm sure those needles ended up in very uncomfortable places.
I can hold my own, dear.
Well, a few rules when talking to the big man. Don't insult him. Try not to make a mess. Don't set fire to anything, he will crush you.
Understand, dear.
Setting fire to the place. Excellent. Check.
And as far as I know, that's about it. I'll be out here, I guess, because guess whatever you're talking about. Based on that, it's not for my ears. I'm not paid enough to care. If you would follow me, please. And he steps up to the door.
Yeah.
And he's going to open the door quickly, step inside, and
Flo just looks over to Remus and like, we need to walk first.
and you hear flow through the door. You hear a quick conversation along the lines of, they have some information about watching wood. Don't know what that's about. They're coming in. Oh, and they're armed.
Flo will basically just look at everyone and is like, well, he kind of knows we're armed.
I never made a secret of it, dear.
And you hear a gruff acknowledgement in the same voice you heard by the market. And the door opens, and the
It's huge.
captain steps outside, holds the door for you. Well, come on in.
Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
There we go.
Oh, you are a big fellow.
He has
I
the right to
am.
bear arms.
I am, old lady.
Yes. Well, I suppose we shouldn't beat
Oh,
around
Jesus,
the bush.
that's a big token.
Hello, that's just all of your reactions like, oh, that's big.
Oh dear. I suppose we
Remus,
shouldn't beat around the
Remus
bush.
cracks his neck.
We have recently come into the possession of some sensitive documents that may or may not implicate you in certain things. And we thought rather than taking it to the authorities, that perhaps bringing it to you instead might be beneficial to both of us. Well, our party and yours.
So this information of yours, you... I'm assuming this is a blackmail scheme.
No.
No?
Well, less blackmail, more allies. We share information, you share information, we both benefit.
Right.
Perhaps in future, if more information, we come across more information, we could share that also. Consider it something that may be beneficial to both my little family here and your larger one.
That was the wrong button.
Oh no.
I tried to click on a different thing, but it didn't want to work. Please roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, persuasion, you mean that thing I'm definitely great at?
Yes. That
I
one.
rolled a 14.
I mean,
That could have gone better. I did not
do
roll
you
well.
have inspiration perchance?
I do not.
Would you like my inspiration?
Yeah, I was about to say,
I would
Cran has
love
had
your
inspiration for weeks.
Your inspiration, well, my inspiration is yours.
Thank you. Let's see if I can do better. That's a 20.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a little better.
That is
Yes.
better, yeah.
Drul Kantar raises a hand, scratches like right behind one of his like grayish, like stone gray horns. And I don't even know who you guys are, but You have information and I have information, and your information comes from those silver flame bastards. I'm listening.
So, yeah, Oren will then relay the information. He will not hand over any documents because he is not in possession of them. Somebody else is.
So, yeah, with the quintet of questing, quarreling, queer squawk. Thank you.
What?
With the quintet of questing, quarreling, queers. Quack.
What?
Andy and I were spitballing names that had 5 Qs in it because we just wanted to do it. And that was one of the 2 that we wrote down.
You
Right.
asked for a name for the party, and it's like, yes, we're 5 pieces of the party, and we can either use 5 letters with P for penta something, or 5 letters of Q for quint something, and I think we figured that Q was a lot more fun, so there you go.
Yeah, the cues.
Questionable quartet, right.
Quintet.
Quint-
Quintet. We're 5.
The questionable quintet. Okay. Good to know. Well, since you are investigating the silver flame, or the servants of the pure flame, annoying little gnats
We are
as
not
they
a
are.
dear.
Yeah, we
We are
had the
not a fan of
misfortune of running into them, so yeah.
Oh, wait, you're the ones who returned the commander. Huh. I heard something about that. The general
So,
description
word on
too.
the street has what you said.
Spread like a plague.
Oh.
How a group, matching your descriptions, managed to destroy a lair of pure flame fox and bring back one of the commanders of the Phala.
Apologies, I think.
I mean, that may or may not be true. We did
No.
run into some, but you make it sound a lot more grand than it was.
It was just survival, darling.
Most of the battles around here are. Now, what kind
Just
of
a minor ditty.
in exchange for this information you have given me, what would you like?
Karen, you're the one that
At
broke
this
this
point,
information.
much like I said before, what information do we want from this guy? This is an honest play question. What information do we want from this guy? What information would we even logically know to ask? Yes, I'm looking at you, DM.
I would say possibly information on the road ahead, what we need to watch out for, that kind of thing, where the dangers lie. Because he would have intel, I'm sure.
Maybe a favor, like he owes us something.
He's not going to be leaving this room alive.
He doesn't know that.
Yes.
Yet.
Now, so what information would be reasonable to ask that would make sense given the context? But yes, whatever lies ahead, that seems reasonable. Because we're going places, and if we need to watch out for things or, stuff of the nature. Now, next question also becomes, do we just murderize this person, or do we make him disappear? As in, do we give him the chance to quote-unquote disappear, and I don't know how we claim to have killed someone that we haven't. I have no idea. I'm just toying with the thought of...
Well, here's the thing. If we kill him, don't we then become the biggest, baddest things in here?
I mean, yes, that is also true. But at the same time, it's like, if we were to ask him for a favor, what dangers lies ahead? That's the information he can give us now. Asking him for a favor would be useless because he can't carry out that favor because he will be dead. So, information
Unless he can, first of all, give us a letter of introduction to some of his allies.
If he can produce that, that is fine. Because at that point, yes, that's how we're doing it. Yes, okay. I know how to phrase this. I know how to phrase this. I'm thinking something along the lines of, we are heading towards the capital. We're in the business of transportation, constructing railroads. What we are going up against is political influence, and we need to understand what lies ahead. We need to we have information that they might be interested in, and you can introduce us to those things. So a letter of introduction that let them know not to kill us when we come. That would be excellent.
All right.
Does that make sense to relay as information as a asking thing to him?
I think.
I hear no objections.
All right.
Well, that sounds fine by me.
Good.
Ooh, anything you can share about the Lord?
So, at which point, Craren is going to ask this information in quite that manner, as a matter-of-fact thing, as this is what we do, this is why we're here. And further is one of those, we have information that in this regard, and we assume that if we can further this, we can benefit in both ways, because we might have information that they need further ahead.
Oh, that's information too.
Yeah, read chat. Anything that you can share about the Lord of does his work? I mean, if you ask that of him.
Yes.
In addition to the letter of recommendation, which he will gladly give you.
I think, like, after Craren's done his speech, then Remus will kind of pipe up and say, so the information that we had seemed to indicate that you may be working with at least one of the Lords of Dust, maybe several of them. Can you tell us anything about whom you are working with generally? And we have become aware, my brother and I, that they may be interested in us for some reason. Have they shared any information with you to look out for two twins?
There we go. I found my coin.
No, coin.
You found your coin? Which coin?
Yes.
Oh,
God.
I have a D2. Because I can't find my metal one. Oh, this one is really cumbersome to roll. I'm gonna roll this. We're gonna roll a D4 odds or evens. All right. As you ask that, Drul Kantar looks at you, Remus, and you see his eyes narrow for a moment, and then almost like a light bulb goes up, off or above his head. He looks. He like leans closer to you, Remus, and always nice to have another smart one around that can also throw a punch. Gives a side eye over to Craren.
I mean, like, I can barely read, mate.
That's the one who was helping with research earlier.
Yes.
Was the research assistant.
Well, I do happen to work with someone just wants to bring a little fun back into the world.
How would you define fun, and in what context? I'm quite intrigued.
Imagine a world where every great pleasure you've ever imagined is yours for the taking.
That sounds quite enticing.
Indeed,
Those are
it
the
is.
ups.
Those are
So,
the ups.
at what cost? There's no such thing as a free lunch, and you know that.
Oh, I know. The cost is... How to put this?
Eternal servitude?
Not specifically, though she can be rather capricious. Really, all you have to do is stay out of her way, out of her line of sight, and you can have everything you want.
So, what you're saying is that if we were to have a blind eye towards things and not interfere, letting things unravel, unfold, if you wish, you're saying that there may or may not be rewards.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Just stay out of her way, stay out of her attention, and you'll be fine.
You keep using the word her.
Yes.
Now, is this someone we are familiar with?
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
Though you have read some information from what you have gathered, or what you have mentioned to me at least, of tangentially related, as far as I understand. I might be completely wrong here.
I mean, we may or may not have information on what you're implicating, and I will say that given that we may or may not have this information, this could have rather interesting consequences, not just for this city, but this plane in general. That seems a bit risky, wouldn't you say?
Not really.
Maybe not for you.
I mean, like I said, I've dealt with emissaries for decades. Nothing bad has happened to Thraklorn, Droam, or even this world. And she, my lady, hasn't been unbound for thousands of years.
I saw a natural link to the information we already have. Interesting. That's a fascinating piece of kit, I will say.
Now, as for the Lords of Dust I've dealt with, they've been many. Like I mentioned, my lady is capricious. They tend to change. A lot. And then you have the pure flame to deal with, and they tend to take out some others of them.
That is also true.
Annoying little gnats. Now
what?
I am a busy man.
You are.
Yes.
And I can hand you some information in written form. And you wanted a letter of recommendation? Or was that just player talk?
No. That was very much we are going down lines to do things, and if we can get people to be friendly with us without us having to wave some form of diplomatic prick in their face, that would be really helpful. That is really where I, as a player, come from with that, because we can stabulate or smarm our way into places, but if we have a get out of jail free card, yeah, hell, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
It would probably not be the first time Oren has used a letter of introduction to get into a place to perform an assassination either.
As you're talking, Drul Kantar keeps looking at you, Remus, and then over to Romulus, and then back to you. And then suddenly there is like a long clawed hand shooting out towards your face as if to grab your chin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you dodge or are you just standing still?
Oh no, I dodge.
Alright, give me a dex save.
Yeah. I try to dodge.
You feel like the claws on your chin, but manage to pull back just in time to not get grabbed. And Drul Kantar chuckles. My apologies. Can I look
That's no
at
way
something?
to treat your guests, is it?
I just noticed something. May I take a closer look at your face? Your eyes specifically.
Sure. And I kind of lean in, but I say, but no touchy.
No touchy. And
Look with your eyes, not with your hands.
you get another chuckle. And Drul Kantar leans closer to you, like looking straight into your eyes, and you start getting a sense of vertigo. And
Can Craren say something along the lines of, that's an interesting vanishing point, and prepare greater invisibility?
absolutely, you can do that. And yes, Remus, you get a slight feeling of vertigo, as if the room starts disappearing around you, spinning slightly, and then just a sudden it stops. And Drul Kantar just rises up to his full length. And I thought your line was dead. Huh. Kalashtar from Orkalun.
Right.
But you don't have a quarry spirit.
I don't.
No. Don't know. I don't know what that is. But that spirit is not from Dalcor. Your
Is that a
brother
good
over
thing
there.
or a bad thing?
I don't know what what spirit you're carrying. I can't tell you that. Your brother over there. Mind coming here? And he points to Romulus.
Alright.
I can't figure out what the fuck is going on because I can't roll for shit. Nope. It does the same thing to Romulus. You start getting that feeling of vertigo and the room spinning slightly and just... Same with you. That spirit is not from Dalcor. I don't know what it is.
What's that to you in the first place?
Curiosity, nothing else.
I admire curiosity.
You're a curious one too, as is your old lady and the satyr.
I'm
not
I'm
interesting in a
happy
way.
you find us interesting.
An old lady who's not who she pretends to be. A satyr without horns but wolf's ears. To Kalishtar without spirits from Dalcor. And a run-of-the-mill high elf.
Oh,
Darling, what do you mean I'm not what I pretend to be?
How the fuck can he see through my hoodie?
perhaps he doesn't need to.
He's got true sight, I'm betting.
Or maybe he just knows. The wolves have ears.
I highly doubt that an old lady has survived this long. Especially an elf one. Though I might be wrong. I like being
You'd be
wrong.
surprised, dear. You'd be surprised, dear.
Now, I am a busy man. Okay, let me give you a moment. And he
So-
turns to his desk and starts writing
So
out
player
the...
observation at this point. Is this where we spill the beans, or do we just, as he returns to the desk, just stab him in the back and start from there, hoping for an opportunity attack?
His thought was that the minute he turns back, I'll cast Zip It on him so he cannot make a mouth sound.
All right.
Remus was going to pull out the writ of execution and turn around and say, "Oh, and we found this other bit of paperwork that you thought you might find interesting." And as he holds it up, the hammer's going to come round the side of it.
I mean,
Okay.
nothing says you cannot do that at the same time.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, yes, he's gonna write out the letter of recommendation, where it's
Let him
basically...
do that first, please.
Yes. So,
Yes.
what exactly... Drul Kantar voice. So, what exactly are your goals here?
It is pretty simple. We are within the business of transportation. We are looking at communication using lightning rail, and that's really why we're here. But in order to do that in a efficient way, and to avoid diplomatic, let's call it nuisance, it's
Incidents.
handy to have people's buy-in, and people who are within power to give buy-in and things of the sort will obviously be first in line for the diplomatic bits regarding not correlation, constitution, not it's a co-word I'm looking for.
Corporation?
Yeah, let's call it that. The setup of trade, the how it's spread out throughout the area, who gets what, and so that's really what we're doing. And seeing as you are a key figure, you have the influence to decide what goes where in chains of operations in this area. And considering you also within the general area, you care about further influence. If this is coming to your area, you also decide what goes beyond this point. We come from west, we're heading to east, and this is a opportunity to gain further influence, not just in the area where you are, but what goods comes and what goods goes. What will you sell? What will you import? These are the things that we bring to the table, and that's why we're here. And that's what we're going to bring further towards the capital. But with your good word, we might be able to do this much easier, because gaining an audience with someone in power. That's not easy, and you, if anyone, should know that. So that's really why we're here, and that's why we're asking with this information. We're asking if we can get further help along the way. We might be able to provide
Basically,
further information when we get there. That's what we're doing.
basically what my friend is saying is, we would like you to help grease the wheels of progress.
Let's put it that way.
I can do that. He turns to the desk, grabs a quill. Actually, he grabs a fountain pen because it exists.
Yes.
And
This is the time where it is. Yes.
yes, we're not in medieval times, so fountain pen exists, and starts writing out this rather long letter, quickly written, neat lines, and signs it with a flourish. Pours some dust. I don't know what kind of dust it is, and just flicks it off to dry the ink, and rolls it up, puts a seal on it, and then turns around to give it to you. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
I
So
think.
Zippet is a reaction.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that he would have a blotting paper.
Yes.
As such, that's what he would use on the piece of paper, not just pouring
Yeah.
weird ashes on it, which you could do, but blotting paper would do the same thing and
Yeah.
same time. And would be more time era appropriate.
This is true. Yes, blotting paper.
So, may I? Let me do this. Move to take the paper, the note from him,
Sure.
and as I take it, cast Zippet on him to seal his mouth shut.
Absolutely.
You're hell bent on being nasty, aren't you? I like that.
Remus.
So as he's turning and with the piece of paper, I'd like to hold up the writ of execution, and kind of up to his eyes and just turn around and go, oh, and we also found this bit of information that we thought you might like to see. And then I'd like to smash him in the side of his head with my warhammer, please.
Absolutely. He looks over to the paper. Doesn't really even have.
I will need to see if it works a con save from him.
Yep. Doesn't really have time to read it. So Remus, please give me a attack roll. Gonna have a con save. That's a 21.
So it doesn't work.
All right.
I believe.
So-
Let me check how that works, actually.
So while hammers are being swung, so yes, so you have the letter of introduction, Oren, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So basically
Good,
what he
so-
does is holds out the letter for Oren, turns around, looks at the paper that Remus is holding. You can see the marks start coming across his lips from Zippet, and then just starts shaking his head, and then the hammer comes, and that definitely hits.
So what we're trying to say is that we have information, but we also have a writ of execution.
Yes.
Sorry. No, Cryon literally says that as well. So what we're trying to say here is that yes, we do have information, a lot of it, but we also have a writ of execution. Sorry.
You will regret this.
I'm sure.
Probably not.
Please roll.
Can this door be locked from the inside and barred?
It can be locked from the inside, but there are no bars on it.
Okay.
Can Flovo started turning before initiative?
Yes. Basically,
yeah, I
all of
guess.
you have one reaction, action, or bonus action that you can do before initiative. Basically, a surprise round. Because he was not, like, bent over by the desk writing. He's not, like, properly surprised, but you will get to act before.
Excellent.
Yes.
Just purely because my initiative was so shit, please DM, would you allow me to have started raging when I smacked him with my warhammer?
Sure, why not?
You can say no. I will accept the fact that I have to be the squishy one for a little while.
Yeah, no raging. You got the
That's fine.
hit in first.
That's fine. I will be the squishy one for a little while.
He says,
This
still
is
having
far
an
too tight
ace.
space for Shadow of Moil.
Yeah, I say that having 18 AC and 72 hit points.
Exactly. The squishy
now,
one.
yeah, so let's roll initiative, I guess.
Yes.
Have done.
There you go. Nat 20.
Nice.
Oh, you
That's
get
me.
2 nat 20s.
Yes.
Excellent.
Did you notice that you got a crit on your damage roll?
Oh yeah,
Oren?
it
Or
did.
you're only doing it for?
Yeah.
You're only
Only
doing it
for-
for the natural 20s.
Only for d20s. Only for
Okay,
d20s.
okay.
No.
So yes, so
Give
that
us some.
happened.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, camera went bye-bye.
Oh no.
All right.
Remus is
Camera
okay,
went
he's in the
night-night.
frame.
Maybe the camera was like, I'm melting.
It would surprise me.
All right.
Melting into the chair.
Andy, you're up first. Flo is
Melting.
after.
Yes, and Karen had prepared greater invisibility.
Yes. Who are you casting it on?
Oh, not self. It's not casting it on self. It's you or a creature you touch become invisible until the spell ends, which means that you can swing and do all kinds of things not being seen.
Who?
Remus.
Okay, fine.
Yes. Greater invisibility means you can hit stuff and not lose it.
Yes.
Well,
It means you will continue to be invisible as long as Kran can maintain concentration.
Okay.
Which means that you have opportunity attacks, all attacks.
yeah, all of your attacks without even be having to go frenzied or whatever it's called, you still have advantage.
Yes.
Nice.
Uh-huh. It helps.
Yes. You have bonus
Nice.
action and
The
movement.
obvious downside to all of this is that we no longer have a visible tank.
Yes.
I'm right up on the Goga. Eh.
Yes. Where is Oren?
On the desk. All right, Karen. Andy, you still have movement and bonus action.
Kran is going to move a bit further back because reasons. But that he doesn't have any cool bonus actions.
Fair enough.
He's a wizard. He has spells.
True. Some spells are bonus actions though, but you can only cast one leveled spell per turn.
Yes, and he has.
All right. Flo, you're up. Romulus, you're after.
Oh, whoops.
I don't seem to be in the initiative order.
No, you're not.
No, you are not.
But he
that
did roll. I mean, Oren has rolled 18, but he's not in the tracker. Why?
It's because it's been rolled on D&D Beyond, so the characters wasn't.
No, it's
was-
here in the above you, Remus.
Yes, but that's the roll that's come over from D&D Beyond, so his token wasn't selected to go into the initiative.
Oh,
I'll add you 18.
yes, beyond 20 thing. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Oh my god.
All right, my bad. Then it's Oren, then Romulus, and Flo because you share initiative. The Borkburks share initiative.
Oh, whoa.
Oh no.
Hello.
Yeah.
So if you change this, is it a dex score that differentiates?
Yeah. But normally it will list it according to your dex score. But since both of you share initiative, you can decide who goes first. Oren, what would you like to do?
Oren's just going to. What is he going to say? He's just going to give the creature a little wink, throw his hood off, and just say, "You're definitely smarter than you look, but that's not hard." In Elvish, but no, he'll say it in common, but he'll not say it with his usual accent. Just that's not hard. As he casts vicious mockery, I'll need a wisdom save from him.
How did you do 0 damage?
I didn't. I did 5 damage.
It says 0 on here.
Yeah, it's still a 20 though. So
it doesn't work. So let's see. That's action, reaction.
you
Bonus
still
action. He is going to bardically inspire Romulus. Just get him.
Oh, why, thank you.
Drul
It's a
Kantar
D8.
Drul Kantar looks to you, Orange. It's not the first time I've been called ugly. Why do you think I got smart?
I didn't call you ugly. I said you're smarter than you look, which is not saying much.
Alright. Flo, you had already started your turn. 23 does
Sorry about
hit. No, don't worry about it. It was just me messing up the turn order thing. So, yes, 23 does hit. 4,
So that's 7.
7.
And she's gonna strike 2 more times.
All right. 33 hits and 6 does not. The first
So
two,
it's a 5.
the first two land with almost frightening precision against the robes and skin of this creature in front of you. That's a nat 1. And then your claws seem to catch on something, Flo, and you feel like your hand pulling, and catching, and it really hurts. It's almost like he's wearing something under the robes that blocked your hit.
You can hear a little yamper.
You still have movement left because that third strike was your bonus action.
She is not gonna move because there's squishy people behind her.
All right, Romulus.
Okay. Would you say? Would I have clear sight? Because the Flo is in front of me. Do I have clear sight of this guy?
This guy is huge.
He's huge. Yes, he's a large creature. You have you can look up and see his head clearly.
Okay. Because I have this thing called Raulothim's Psychic Lance.
Oof, that's a nasty one.
Yes. You unleash a shimmering lance of psychic power from your forehead at a creature that you can see within range.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
target must make an intelligence saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 7d6 damage, psychic, and is incapacitated until the start of your next turn. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage.
That's still a good amount of damage.
17.
Hang on. Spell save is 15.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wait, no,
half of 7d6.
Yes. So does it not roll for me or
I
no?
don't.
Apparently
Not.
doesn't seem like it. Okay, 7d6 it is. Okay, hang on. That's 66.
All right.
Plus, hang on. Oh no, hang on. No, not me. Oh, with a nat one. So that's 19. No, that's 20. So 10 damage.
10 damage. You see him reeling slightly as the spell hits and shakes his head and turns his eyes on you, Romulus, and that same sense of vertigo comes back briefly. That's 10 psychic damage.
God,
You
I hate
sti-
eye contact.
And
So you need to make intelligence saving throw? Oh, that is nasty.
yeah, it is.
Unfortunately, I've only got one spell slot there in that level, so I can only use it the once for I'll get out of the way.
No, you get to.
No.
Oh, what? I have 2?
Warlocks
Yes.
always cast at the highest level.
Yes.
So, oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay.
You have
You
two
only
spell
have
slots.
2 slots.
Yeah, you have 2 spell slots per short rest, and you always use the highest level you can cast a spell at.
So I have another go.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I need to.
Not this turn.
So warlocks are a bit weird that way. They only like their bread and butter, much like sorcerers, are cantrips, because they only have 2 spell slots per short rest. But instead, because they're so limited with their spell slots, they always cast at the highest possible level that they have spell slots for. Like if you can cast level 4 spells, you always cast a spell at level 4.
Providing it has an upcast, but
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So like if you cast Armor of Agathis on yourself, you will always cast it at the highest level. If you cast if you had magic missiles, you would spray the battlefield with guaranteed hits.
Well, thank you for giving me ideas.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I might have done that a time or two in Baldur's Gate 3.
Soon,
It's wonderful.
soon I'll know that in Baldur's Gate. Anyway,
Yes.
With that in mind, that's me done.
All right. You do have a bonus action, you do have movement, and you can add Elos to the battle if you want.
You know what? Let's add Elos to the mix as well, because he might come in handy. So let me roll his initiative.
All right. So he would be.
I need to keep his character sheet up, don't I? That's what we have.
He will be right. Sorry. Dex and Elos Dex. What is Elos's dexterity?
18.
Okay, so he is before this guy.
Gotcha.
So he has higher dex.
She's not gonna.
So what would you like him to do?
Each creature. No, that's a range. Suggestion.
Ow.
Let me. Hang on. Decisions. Would guidance be helpful for anyone?
Guidance gives you an extra d4 on ability checks.
I mean,
Wait, is this ability checks?
Yeah, it is ability checks.
Yeah.
the short answer is obviously, but at the same time, it's also I'm not sure what checks we are up against and
No.
who will be most likely to be targeted. Well,
Uh,
actually, it's checks, it's not saves.
That's right.
Not sure.
Okay, and then if in any case, I will do some like claw attacks then.
All right.
So let's do that instead, and then we'll. That then. So. Boop.
Oh, it's my cat snoring. Okay.
14 does
Sorry,
not
I'll-
hit.
Okay, and another one. There's a 26 hit.
26 does hit. You see Elos rush forward and do a claw attack, and you hear a slight screeching sound, and then Elos just and then yes with the other one, and a scratch appears on Drul Kantar's face.
And that is 2d6 plus 4.
All right, you should be able to just click the attack button.
Yeah, I clicked the claw, but it didn't roll the damage.
All right, that's fair.
So that's 7 plus 4, so 11.
11 points of damage. Nice.
like
To
my
the
rolls like
face too.
Yeah.
And you see him shake his head and just bat at the
But
tiny.
not the face, and quite attached to that one.
Basically,
I'm
yes.
attached to it.
All right. Moving it down. To do you still have some movement left?
Elios will like come back to me.
All right. You see, actually, he's going to do the claw at Elos. Is like pushing him away. 24.
Yes.
For 11 slashing as he just smacks Elos as he leaves the space.
What is Elios' health actually? It doesn't. Don't have like a. Oh, hit points 35. So I can't like change that in his character sheet apparently. So I'll just.
Let me see if I can fix that for you. Scrolly, hit points.
No, no.
There you go. I should be able to see it. Ow.
Yes, thank you.
Alright. Reeling slightly from the damage he's taken, Drul Kantar takes half a step back. He's gonna leave both of your melee ranges, Remus and Flo.
What am I doing all the way back there, by the way?
Not
You
getting
moved it.
smacked by an ogre. That's what you're doing back there. You do have advantage, Remus, because you are invisible. 19 does hit.
Ignore the rage. Just 11.
Nice. And Flo, do you want to take an opportunity? No, that doesn't
I
hit,
did.
unfortunately. Once
Yeah.
again, your claws make contact with that, like, something under the robes. And as you pull back, you see the glimmering of metal.
Mm.
And Drul Kantar steps back around the chair, puts a hand on the wall, and you see the wall shimmer for a moment, and then it takes another step through and vanishes.
Oh, of course he does. There's a secret tunnel, isn't there?
Secret
Tunnel.
tunnel.
All right, Remus. Then it's Annie.
Is the wall still shimmering? I'm going to barrel towards the wall.
All right.
Can I come through?
Yes.
Eh.
You do, and because I cannot be asked changing this thing, you get a very off-putting sensation of just flying upwards very fast.
Holy fuckwit.
And ignore the others who are on this map. You find yourself on the... No, I didn't want Remus in there. On the ground. Looking behind you, you can see clouds and then brown earth stretching out all around you until you see mountain ranges on the horizon. And you realize...
Also, mind everyone else. He's invisible, so no one even saw him leave.
Nope. All of you saw Drul Kantar leave, but you didn't see Remus leave. But Remus, you realize that you are on some form of island, thousands of feet above the ground.
Holy shit, Sticky's got a flying castle.
Let me...
I like it.
I'm going to assume, watching this man disappear, the natural inclination would be, oh yeah, we need to follow that hole in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you still have movement, Remus.
Yes, I do.
And your action and bonus action.
Is the door in front of me shut?
Yes.
Can I walk up to the door and knock on it?
Absolutely you can.
Yes, you're also invisible, so no one will see you.
You knock on the door. It echoes as if a huge something is behind that door. Huge space.
Does he answer the door?
No.
Can I try the door to see whether or not the door is open, please?
Absolutely. Actually.
I'm calling.
Watch Remus learn how to discover how doors work.
You try the handle and the door swings open.
Okay. It's 15. 30. I've only got enough to kind of move to there.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to move to there, and I'm going to see whether or not I can suss out where our fellow our quarry. That's
Quarry?
what I'm looking for. Thank you. Has got to.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Oh dear. I know, Cat, you want a cuddle, but it's fucking hot, so 11.
Looking around, you get... At first you get the creeping sensation of being watched, and then you look around and you find mounted beast heads all over the walls. All looking at you. All strangely sentient. But no sign of, for lack of a better word, your host. And then to your right, you find a familiar looking summoning circle.
Oh, over here.
Yes.
I find it familiar. What summoning circle did you say? Sorry, you cut out
Yes.
slightly for me.
Yes, a familiar looking summoning circle.
Familiar as in like it looks like the piece of parchment thing that we were playing around with earlier on, or familiar? Okay, fine. Remus is just going to stand there and say, well, shit. And he will just stand there, I think, and wait to see if the others are going to come and join him.
Yeah, because he's nowhere.
All right.
In a castle, in the sky.
Yep.
And
Craren. Yes. Andy, then it's Oren, Flo, and Romulus. What would you all like to do?
Oren will definitely go through that passageway door thing.
All right.
Tunnel.
It's a good
Secret
tunnel.
turnovers from the other map.
Yeah, that's just because I can't be asked splitting the party because it's a pain in the ass to do on Roll20.
Okay, I mean, we're obviously passing through the wall.
Yeah. So let
Because,
me
you know,
move you.
why wouldn't you pass through the wall?
Let's move
It's
you
a very
to
natural
where.
thing to do.
Move you where you would be landing. You.
Brian is casually looking behind him. Guys, you might not want to look far too much behind you. It seems to be a long way down.
Oh,
Why the
A
fuck do we
few
stop on the
paces
edge?
forward for safety, please.
well, this door seems to be open. We should probably go through here.
I'd imagine that's where he went. Both of them.
Would seem reasonable. Going through the.
I think I wander in
open
and promptly bump into
door.
you, by the way. Oh my god, what was that?
Oh, hi, Aaron.
Look, you coming?
Ah. Oh, it's you. Yeah, it's you. Frighten me.
Is Flo still werewolf state? There we go.
Yeah, I was like, well, but why?
Flop.
Ow. Ow.
Awoo.
Awoo. Awoo.
This episode is sponsored by. No, it's not sponsored by Klaxon, but I want it to be.
Yes. All right. All of you enter into this majestic-looking hall where the walls are lined in mounted beast heads, from hippogriffs to griffins to giant boars to stuff you're not entirely sure what the hell that is.
Can I smell the guy?
Give me a perception check.
With advantage.
Indeed. Yeah,
19.
with a 19, you can smell his scent on most everything here, but you can also smell it further in this room. With a 19, it's almost like his essence is pinging off closer to these tables.
Over here?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not semi-visible as well, has he?
So Flo will push Remus a little bit and past Oren and just be like, you can see her sniffing there. Going over to the table and just sniffing.
Remus will follow relatively close behind, even though he's invisible.
All right.
I can
What you got
smell
there?
you. She will just try and sniff, like, where the fuck the scent is coming from, even going on top of the table.
Is this a new episode of Dirty Dancing?
You know, Elos scratched him. Is there any like blood or anything like that on the floor?
Give me a perception or investigation check.
I mean, I'm definitely going for the one that I've got +4 in. 14.
You do see a few drops on the floor, yes. It seems to have stopped near the table. With a 14, you also have this creeping sense that you're still being watched from behind. And turning around,
I'm like over here somewhere.
these mounted heads are looking straight at you.
Which mounted head? Sorry.
These two.
Okay.
That's not creepy at all.
I will go to Oren and I will say to him, "Do you have any more of those like jumpers that you used on the Periton?
I got plenty.
Can I borrow a couple, please?"
He's going to, much like a little kid with a school bag with another kid going through it, just turn his back and present his pack to him. Just, here you go.
Cool. I'm gonna grab a couple of jumpers and then activate my boots of flying so I can fly up to where these heads are and put the jumpers over their eyes so they can't see us.
Oh no.
So the guys just see these jumpers suddenly disappear because I assume that greater invisibility means that like
It includes anything you wear and anything you hold.
Yeah, and then then you hear this weird fluttering of wings from the boots.
So tell me, have
then
you grabbed the ugly Winter's Day sweaters to do this?
I've got no idea. I've just pulled 2 jumpers or 2 sweaters out of your bag. I've got no idea how many sweaters that you've got in there or what. But they are now currently on the eyes of the 2 creatures that appear to be looking at us.
Could you imagine if the invisibility sticks to the items after you've let go of them?
I would laugh so hard.
Remus, as you fly up to these creatures, could you please make me a dexterity save?
Oh boy.
Sure.
Oh no.
I'm going to use my inspiration for that. Oh, well, that's still not good. A 9.
Wow.
Don't you also have
I
body?
mean,
No, because you gave it to Romulus.
yes.
Oh shit! I knew I gave it to one of you. I couldn't remember.
Because
I
you can't
mean-
see me to give it to me.
I
As-
will say, it is better.
Yes. Still sub 10.
Yeah, but you know.
Oh, we're fucked.
I mean, if only.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe.
That's still with disadvantage because you're invisible.
It's fine. 25 still hits.
As
I'm 25 or 26, really?
these two
Hang on. Let me check something.
Of course.
That's a 15. I don't think that's gonna hit.
I can't see what's happening, can I? Like, I can't see the
Oh, you
thing.
like you see the sweaters as Remus lets go, and then suddenly the mounted heads come out of the wall and just nom at Remus, like one from either side.
I was going to ask if I could use cutting words, but I think it's a bit late now. I was trying to figure out if I could see what was going on.
It's
a reaction.
I'll let you do that for one. So yeah,
Yeah.
because it's a reaction.
Yep.
You can. I'll let you do that on the first attack, the Griffin attack, if you want.
But what's your armor class?
18.
So would it even
You need to roll a 7.
Fuck it, I'll do it. Let me just mark off my bardic and roll that d8. I rolled a 7.
Oh wait, no, you need to roll an 8. Because
You need
it's
to
me
roll
to
an 8.
beat. My bad, yes.
Ah, bugger. Oh well.
I'm sorry, that was on me.
He'd still have tried.
Really?
Honestly.
Okay.
0 damage. Wonderful.
It is 1d6 plus 4, so it's not that much. 1d6, so 6 damage on Remus. From these two things. And you go in the tracker if I haven't already added you. No, I did not. And then the hippogriff goes in. And on that, we are back in initiative order again. So,
Do we reroll or?
nah, let's keep. Oh, I mean, you can reroll if you want.
I'm fine.
I
No,
mean-
just wondering.
I mean, we could. This is technically new initiative, so yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Let's roll. That's decidedly worse.
Sort of fine with 19.
Same.
It's 1 pip away from a nat 20, but you know.
Always,
No.
always to squishy people in a big pile.
I mean, you're the one running away, so
I was trying to find a person.
You're sniffing.
Sniff, 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 sniffing.
Roll for Elos as well, unless you want to roll it
Yes,
on your
I
turn.
shall.
do.
Initiate attack. God, I'm rolling well. My lucky charm, it works.
Nice. So he's right after Romulus
Is
and
that
Karen.
gink?
Wunderbar. Right, are these things flying currently?
The hippogriff and the griffin are flying, yes. So they just
Okay.
come out next to something.
Because we needed more things to hit.
Yeah. So with that in mind, would I get disadvantage if I use my agonizing blast?
Not.
I will use agonizing blast.
I don't think so, no.
I suppose it depends on how high they're flying.
Good point.
It is a place for a large creature. I know.
Where is the giant boar?
I rolled the wrong initiative, but yes.
Where is that?
I have concerns.
Mm.
I've got 7 of them.
But yes, you can use. They are pretty high up on the wall, so I'd say you can use
Okay.
agonizing blast without without disadvantage.
Right, disadvantage, gotcha. Does a 23 hit?
Yes. Now remember, you have.
Does a 2 hit? With 2 damage?
It's
You.
not 2 though, because it's you need to add your charisma number.
Oh, why isn't that not?
I know it's being.
I
Done.
thought I fixed that in your character sheet.
I thought it was fixed. Hang on.
Yeah, so did I.
Okay, hang on.
And it's 2 beams, if I don't remember wrong.
Yes. Okay, hang on. Why is that not? Saving throw, charisma. Oh, hang on. No, there we go. There you go. So 2 plus 4, so that is 6, and then I'll do another one. Same.
Yes.
Well, dang.
Natural 20, guys.
Nice.
First one in a while. And then 12 damage to this one here.
That is-
Nat gets a nat 20.
Nice.
So that
Uh,
is turquoise.
Both blasts hit, and you see the griffin reeling from both of them, and then nearly losing complete balance as you watched it's being heavily damaged. It's barely hanging on.
Nice. Helios, go for the wings. And that's my turn.
All right. Andy, you're up.
Yes. Roll crit damage, yes. Much like Remus
Oh yeah, you
So
need to roll
happily
crit damage.
pointed out.
Oh, how do I do that? Again,
Roll
Do I
another
describe-
die. What? Another D10
D10. Okay.
plus. Yeah, another D10. And with that, the griffin, hippogriff, griffin. What is this thing?
I don't know.
That is a. Does it have a horse body?
I don't know. I can't see Remus.
It's a hippogriff.
Like it.
Yes,
Yes,
you
that's
managed to shoot it out of the sky,
Wonderful.
and it
Out of
falls.
the sky, or as in you also unalived it?
It's very dead. So both
It's very
the
dead.
yes, both those hit completely. Actually, you describe how you shoot this thing out of the sky.
Okay, so I aim for clearly as it's flying, its vulnerable parts are going to be its wings. So I aim
Yes.
for the wings, and yeah, tactically I do that, and it does that kind of like barrel roll kind.
Go barrel
Yes.
roll.
You hear as it hits the ground, the stone ground. You hear a sickening crunching as its neck breaks as it hits the ground.
Sorry,
But this
I'm
one
so
is
sorry. I wasn't expecting that much graphic content.
But yes, Andy, you're up.
I'm up. Oh, right.
Yes.
I'm currently not down, apparently.
No, you're not.
We only see the other thing covered in darkness.
Yes. You do
Okay.
see a griffin.
Yes, I see half of that token because the other half is inside the wall. That's why
Yes.
I'm-
Hold on. Yeah. There.
Thank you. So
Necroprancer.
I did.
I love
I
it.
mean, rules as written forbids wizards to be in two schools of magic. Else, I would actually consider
Yes.
doing that. Yes, I would completely consider multi-classing Krarn into illusionist necromancer.
Alas, if I'm going to do anything, it's going to be taking a couple levels in rogue.
But yes, words. I could be using them.
Herb.
Let's see. Shadow of a Moil is once per day. Is that a spell slot eating skill or is it not?
It's one of your things, right? Let me double check
It is.
something.
That's why I'm wondering. Because
No, it doesn't need your spell slot.
Roll 20 doesn't make difference in innate abilities and spell slots.
It is, however, a
wondering.
concentration spell, so you would drop concentration.
Oh yeah, it is
On
a concentration.
invisibility.
Never mind. I was not reading the
Sorry.
up yours. I was not reading the word concentration. Yeah, so there's that. Let's do that. Let's read the word concentration and avoid that. Yes. Good choice. Let's see. I'm wondering. Yes, I am wondering. So it's up in the air, right?
Yes.
But clear line of sight?
As far as you can tell, yes.
More of it from where Crown is standing, the other one is on the ground, so there's nothing really in between, is what I'm.
No, there's.
Okay. Okay, that's entirely fair. This is a creature, not a statue, right?
No, it's a creature.
It's a creature. Okay. That is entirely fair. That is entirely fair. Yes. Crown is going to aim at this fucker and see if he can more or less hurl a, because it's in the air and reasons. He wants to just produce a green orb of, chromatic orb, and just lob it in its general direction. Hope that it hits it.
All right, go for it.
Because lobbing at flying things isn't necessarily his thing.
Nope. Roll an attack roll. That's going to hit.
Good.
Excellent.
Good. Let's see what happens.
You upcasted it?
Yeah. Is
All
that
right.
5 plus 13 or is that 13?
5
I
plus.
don't understand how that is calculated.
It's 5 plus 13.
Yeah.
So 18
yeah,
points.
it is. If you hover over it, it tells you what it actually is, what it's
Yeah.
actually rolling.
Yeah. So a sizzling ball of acid hits this griffin as it's hovering in the air, and it gives off a shrieking sound my microphone cannot pick up.
Let's imagine that you make that noise then, okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You still have movement.
Yes. Oren is less squishy.
Marginally.
Not by much, but less squishy.
All right.
Are you using me as an elven shield?
I may or may not be.
As you're discussing this,
I'm just saying, you don't seem to mind Crown from behind, so,
Oh boy.
I don't mind.
you hear a thump from behind you, Kraran,
Me sideways.
and then
Not in
grunting
the middle
no-
of combat, for sure.
and grunting sounds, and Oren, Kraran, and Romulus behind you. You see a giant boar come running towards you.
Come
Right.
no.
Ah. No thanks.
And let's see, it's going to charge at. You know what? Roll me a d6. 1, 2 is Kraran, 3, 4 is Oren, 5, 6 is Romulus.
I accidentally rolled it twice.
Thanks.
2 dice say it.
And it's gonna charge directly towards Romulus using the charge attack.
Fucking hell.
So we're gonna do a tusk attack for a 21. Which is, let's start with, you're gonna work 12 slashing damage plus
4, 5, 6, 8,
another 2d6, 11.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
How are you looking?
I'm still more than half, so it's fine. My glass half full type of person at the moment.
And I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
Of course.
Oh no.
All of
That's
them?
his dumb stat.
The power of this charge knocks you off your feet, Romulus, and you're knocked prone on the ground. And Oren.
Hi.
Elos is off after
Didn't
Oren.
like that.
Just out of curiosity.
Mhm.
I'm not going to make things to be interjected, but just out of curiosity. Did the boar happen to pass within melee range of Craren and Oren on his way to Romulus?
Technically hasn't left your melee range yet.
That's entirely fair. That's entirely fair.
Let me just fix something real quick. No, he's not going to use that. Oren is right up in this thing's space, right?
Yep.
Does Eldritch Blast... Is it ranged enough that I'm going to be at disadvantage if I use it?
Yep.
Even if there's 3 of us there.
You're not flanking it.
Are you sure?
I can
Yes.
technically fix that by
Because you need to be
doing this.
you need to be on opposite sides. Now you are flanking, so that would be a straight roll.
Yeah.
Fair.
Right. So I'll do that real quick.
Yep. So that would be a straight roll.
I rolled a 10. So
Oof. Don't you get 2 blasts?
yes,
I
I
believe
do.
you do.
And a 16.
16 does hit. The 10 does not. The boar follows you with its gaze, Oren, and managed to dodge out of the first one, but the second one hits.
It does 3 damage, but at the same time, he is actually going to look at Elos and just go, "You got this, little buddy," giving him my final bardic inspiration.
Nice. Alright, Elos.
Okay, so he sees that Romulus has been twatted by a boar. So he's going to make some claw attacks at said boar. So first one being
And my bardic is a D8 if that helps.
plus a D8. Yeah, I might do that. So hang on.
And you should have advantage because I'm flanking.
That is true. Hang on.
Yes.
So I rolled. Hang on. So let me try that again then. The 24 hit.
24 does hit.
Okay. That I'll keep that that roll for bardic for the next one.
Yeah.
Well,
are those both his attacks?
No. So. Oh yes, actually. Well, because wasn't I was rolling it with a.
You roll with advantage. 26
Yes.
and 26
Yes.
both hit.
I see. Okay. Yes, I've miscalculated. In that case, I don't think it's necessary to have the bardic inspiration. So we can.
Is
If we can leave it on.
26 and at 20 for Elos?
No, it's not green.
It's a it's a 19.
Damn.
Okay, so I will roll. So that's so in total that. Okay, you know what? I'll do it individually because that'll be easier. 2d6 for 4, so that's 13 for the first one.
All right.
And 14 for the second one.
It's 13 and the boar is looking. That's not how that works. All right. I have no idea how much damage that had dealt, so we're gonna do that from the start. 39, because I did that wrong. Minus 13. Minus 14. Boar is looking really rough. Elos has completely scratched up its snoot.
Good.
Alright. Wanna move anywhere, or are you good where you are?
I think Ilios will be fine for now.
Alright. It is Drul Kantar's turn. And he is I need.
Didn't we just decide that he's not here?
No, you just haven't seen him yet.
Oh, that's what it was.
I need all
Oh,
of
no.
you to give me
No.
a Constitution save.
Oh.
Is this by any chance against being charmed?
No.
Thank
Fuck.
God for that.
That is a nat 20 for 21.
Bravo.
Let me
Golf clap.
actually.
Golf clap.
Golf clap, yes. Oh wait, Flo, you don't need to because it is a cone shape in front of him.
Oh, okay.
Oh, of course he spawns right there.
And I need to actually do some measurements to see if Remus is caught in that as well.
Okay.
Cone is being done with me. Why?
I mean, are you looking at? Is that a cone you're looking for? Not a.
Yeah, it's a cone shape.
Okay.
So yeah, Craren and Remus are not in the cone. But
For which I am eternally grateful.
I'm not.
I'm gonna die. Oh no,
And you
I
rolled
nat 20.
21.
Yeah. Which is the highest I can roll.
I mean, it is, but not the point. I think that saves, which is what it was.
Oh, you.
It is a DC 13. So if you roll a 13 or higher,
Does that say 47 cold damage?
yes, it does. The boar is done, turning into a popsicle.
What did that do? Dash OP
I have no idea. I don't.
repeating attack something spell description link.
Yeah, I tried to look at the spell description and then it just came up with that.
All right. So what it says is a
Went
blast
pretty
of
special.
cold air. Each creature in a 60-foot cone must make a con save. Creature takes 8d8 cold damage. I'm trying to figure out how that got 47 or 40. Yeah, never mind. My can't math. Or half on a successful save. A creature killed by the spell becomes a frozen
23.
statue, which is you now have a boar popsicle right there.
That's 23 damage halved, right?
Yes.
Ow.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
need
what's-
one for Elos as well.
Oh, that's it. Hang on.
Who's got
so-
Bardic?
Yeah, it's got Bardic. So. Oh no, it's just a regular constitution.
Something, get your
Yeah.
bardic started.
That's a check, isn't it? So where's this?
Well.
Elos saves. So that's 23.
So I rolled an 8 on my constitution. So what does
Yeah.
that mean?
You take 46 cold damage.
Yeah, I'm
47.
I'm
47 cold damage.
Yeah, I've only got 35 health.
You are currently frozen in place, unconscious.
Yeah.
Well.
And then he's going to back away here.
You.
And-
Git.
Elos takes 23.
That also didn't work. No ability was found. Oh, is this homebrew?
It is not.
I'm like Han Solo. when he's
Oh
doing
wait,
combat
I don't
buttons.
think I can click on the thing because I don't have access to that character sheet, so it can't look it up for me.
Hold
You
on.
can look it up in the Discord, though.
Yeah, but at the same, yeah, well, I mean I
There
could,
it
but
is.
it's like I just wanted to click the thing, and yeah,
I just wanted to click.
Yeah, because it has a
Remus.
button saying show spell description, and it just says no ability was found for % brackets something. And like, okay.
Elos is, I don't know, is Elos also, because he
hang on,
took
so-
23 damage.
I
He
know,
has
but
some
what
30
was his-
something hit points. So yeah.
Yeah, he was on something, wasn't he? I can't see his health again.
Hold on.
I think he took 11 damage before, but I could be
I
wrong.
think so.
Yeah.
Let me check because it's being dumb about it.
He's got 35 hit points. So if he's taken 11 plus the 23, he's on 1.
Yeah. So no, he's not a statue at the moment. He's just very, very cold.
Okay. Remus is going to roar with rage because his brother is currently a popsicle. And he is going to charge straight at Drul Kantar. Still flying, so he's going to get up in his face. And
He's invisible.
Yes.
he's invisible. So he's just going to start swinging with his axe.
All right.
Not his axe, his warhammer.
22 hits.
So that is 15 damage on that. And then he swings again.
20
20.
hits.
So it's another 11. So 26.
Yes. He is looking really bad. He's starting to bleed from various places, and you've done a number on his head.
Good.
Cool. I'm going to action surge and attack again.
All right, go for it.
24.
24 hits.
And so that's another 9. And then 24 again for 14. So hold on a minute. I have to match.
No, what? 21?
Yeah, another 21. So
Uh,
25 plus 21, so 46.
yeah. He's looking really rough. Like one shoulder seems to slump a little bit more than it's natural. He's leaning a little bit as if favoring one side, and one of his horns have broken off completely. Still can't see you because greater invisibility.
Yes. So it's bonus action movement. I will say to Kraran, drop this spell. I wanted to see him as I kill him. I want him to see me as I kill him.
And Cryon will drop the spell.
That's it.
Alright.
I mean, I can't do any more. But
All right. The Griffin is up, and then it's Flo's turn. The Griffin is dumb as a bloody post, so
Dumber than a second coat of paint.
actually it has the same intelligence as Janice.
I hate that Yanis keeps it constantly being compared to dumb creatures.
No, this is a very highly intelligent creature. It has an intelligence of 6. It's a very intelligent beast.
Fine.
It's gonna fly directly for Flo. Because it's in the line of sight, and she's in the line of sight and currently not a popsicle.
Fluffy. So, food.
Yes. And it's going to make, let's see. It's going to, is it 20 feet? I don't think so. Give me the line. It is 20 feet. It's going to do the swoop attack. And use claw for a natural 20 for 26.
That hits.
Ow.
And
Cool.
I need... Okay. 26. Come on! Roll me the damage. So that is claw attack, 44 plus 4.
Oh, is that a nap for you?
Yes. Really now?
Oh. I'm taking a picture of that. It's not very often we see that happen.
That's 4 damage.
And because it was a natural 20, I rolled it twice. So it's 18 plus 4, so
What the fuck even
22
is that?
claw damage. Just immediately.
And it's not magical, is
It
it?
is 4 to the 4th.
It is not magical, so it's halved.
So that's
20. No, wait, it's 20, so 10. You take. No,
16 it is.
16
Sorry.
plus 4 is 20. Halved is 10.
Oh. Right.
So that's a 1 in 256 for to have that happen.
And you are currently being grappled by its claws, Flo, as it is going to try to bite you with the beak for 16.
misses.
Nice. You managed to just out of the way of the beak, but it's still holding on to you with its front claws. And it's your turn.
We don't like this.
Raw,
Uh-huh.
that is your reflection you're screaming at.
The first strike, you're still a little trying to figure out beast in front of your face, but the other two will hit. For 12, and it's not looking great.
That's about what I can do.
Yes. As you hear that, Oren, you see from the wall a large wolf come out of the wall and drop down onto the ground.
Really?
Where that was.
Look, it's another bark.
Yes.
One of us, one of us.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
And how far is it to Oren? I don't think it can make it there. Hello.
Oh no.
It's going to rush up to Oren and make a bite attack on you. For 15.
Oh god, I think that hits. Let me check. Meets it, beats it. I'm fine.
Alright. And please let me roll. 7 piercing damage, and I need you to make me a strength save.
7 piercing. Give me a second to do that. Damage and strength save.
It's fine, you only need to beat a 13.
That's an 8.
Never
You
mind.
are currently knocked prone and being held down by the dire wolf's paw. As we move to the top of the next round, we will be leaving this session.
Oh, fuck you.
Come on.
Unless you guys want to keep playing,
No,
but
no.
it is 11 p.m.
Am I in the order?
Yes, you are. You are right after the giant boar, who's no longer alive. So it's Romulus, Craren, Oren.
Can I at least do my first death
Okay.
save?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay.
You save.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Okay. I'm content with that.
You are alive for another 6 seconds.